Hello there, Rubina here. Today, I want to talk about stories. Now, we're still in, lesson 2 and 3 of Thinking into Results, which is the program that has really impacted me, changed my life. It's Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher program. Bob has been my mentor. God bless his soul. He passed away last year, and he's still my mentor. And I'm learning more and more all the time from him. And I'm actually going through TIR again for myself. And Proctor Gallagher has a great guy, Todd Bowerly, who is taking us through it one more time, and it's been just phenomenal for me. So I want to talk about stories today. Stories are so powerful, okay? And I know when we were little children, we used to tell stories all the time. We used to want to listen to stories. We wanted to make up stories because we were great at using our imagination. And now, as an adult, having lived many decades, I recognize through studying myself the power of the stories that I'm telling myself. And there are three types of stories that we really fall back on. Okay. One is the story of what have we been doing? Okay. Or where have we been really? Okay. And that's really based on the past and what's already done. But oftentimes we get stuck in this loop of just living in reverse or constantly thinking about those past events or those past stories. And we focus on that. And what ends up happening is we bring more of the past into our present and potentially into our future. So ask yourself, the story you're telling yourself, is it about where I've been? That's something to ponder on and be honest. Okay. And it's okay if you've been telling the same story of where you've been. It's okay. This is all about awareness because personal development is all about self-awareness. And the greater your awareness about you, and it can only happen when you study you, the greater your awareness about you, the better you'll be able to catch yourself and you'll be able to create a shift. Okay. Now, this story of where you've been is likely coming from your subconscious mind because it's something that happened that you got emotionally involved with. And now it's become an automatic story that you keep telling yourself. And it's a story that's coming from your subconscious that you have just like, it just happens. You don't even realize it unless you take a pause and you start to really reflect, and then you can catch yourself. Okay. I used to tell a story over and over and over again. Okay. And my story stemmed from when I was 18 months old, when I had a reaction to a cholera vaccine that left me unable to walk. And that story, when I was so young, because my subconscious mind was wide open, my conscious mind hadn't been created yet. It hadn't developed yet, I should say. Okay. It hadn't developed yet. And so I wasn't able to use my conscious mind to reject things. I was just absorbing everything that was happening around me. And so the story that I kept telling myself is, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And that story that I was telling myself, it perpetuated in a lot of areas of my life. Now, there were spurts and there were moments where I was doing well and I succeeded and I was successful and I, accomplished things. And I'm grateful for those moments, but the consistency wasn't there. And that's only got changed. And it's a work in progress still, because I still have to work on it. I still catch myself sometimes feeling that I'm not good enough or I don't deserve this, right? And by studying me, taking myself through thinking into results multiple times and doing it again now, I'm getting to know me better. And as I get to know me better, I'm able to catch myself. So that story, okay, of where I've been has shifted for me. And it only shifted because I studied me. So I encourage you to study you, okay? Reflection, journaling, meditation, just quieting your mind. Those are all ways you can do that, okay? The next story that we tend to tell ourselves is where we're at. Okay, we focus on where we're at today. Now, you want to be present in the now because really now is all we have. Okay. However, you also want to be mindful of the story that you're telling yourself in the now, where you are now. Does that story serve you? Does it propel you forward? So, for example, if you are telling yourself a story of things you don't want, then you're going to bring more of things you don't want to yourself. But if you are telling yourself a story now about what you want, or if you're telling a story of gratitude, or appreciating what you have, then you're bringing more good stuff to you. So this one about where you're at, you have to really, really pay attention to. Okay? Because it can work for you or against you. Same goes with past stories. Okay? They can work for you or against you, but it's only when you understand you, when you have a higher level of awareness of your thinking pattern, because everything is about thinking. It starts with the thinking. The thinking generates the feeling. The feeling puts you into a vibration, your body, mind vibration, and then you're going to perform actions based on that, and then that'll produce your results or your outcomes. Okay, so everything starts with the thinking. So when you start to really get to know you and understand you and take time every day to study you, that's when you'll start to be able to be more aware of the different stories you're telling yourself. The third type of story is, where are you going? Now, that's the story that has the most power for you. Okay. The other ones have power as well, but this story can really, really shift a lot within you. This story of where you're going can really propel you forward. And what happens is you start to focus on the goal that you want to achieve. Okay. If you go back to my YouTube videos, there was one in January I did around goals and the types of goals and how to set a goal. Okay. So you might want to go back and watch that video and make sure that you have set a goal for yourself. Okay. We are into the second part of the year, 2023. We're already in mid-July. Okay. More than mid-July. And so it's a great time to sit and do some reflecting and ask yourself these questions. Okay. What story am I giving power to on a daily basis? Am I constantly telling myself a story about where I've been? Am I telling myself the story of where I'm at? And sometimes where you're at is not the story you want to tell yourself. Okay. Especially if you're in a place where it's not, working for you. You don't want to keep telling you that story. And then the third type, or ask yourself, am I telling a story about where I'm going? And that's the one you really want to focus on. Where are you going? And you want to get to a point where your self-reflection and studying you enables you to close that gap from where you are and where you want to go. Okay. That's what you want to do. You want to close the gap, and you want to build, you want to be in a state of being. You want to build a self-image that reflects where you're going. Okay. And that's how you can start to really shift yourself. Okay. Self-image, you can never outperform it. So if your self-image is such that, you're not good enough, like mine was, okay, then you're not going to move forward very fast. In fact, you'll likely stay stuck in a loop, in that hamster wheel that happens. Okay. So you want to do some reflecting today. Okay. Do it right after this call, or watch this video again. Okay. Watch this video again a couple of times. Really start to pay attention to what I'm saying and how it applies to you, because that's the only way things can change. When you take the information you're learning from whatever you're reading or whatever you're watching, and you take it and you apply it to your life. That's when things can actually change for you. Okay. The application. Otherwise, you're just gathering knowledge, and gathering knowledge does nothing. Okay. Learning happens when you take the knowledge and you apply it and you start to create shifts within you. So watch this a couple of times. Take out a sheet of paper when you're done watching and ask yourself those 3 questions. What story am I telling myself? Am I focusing on where I've been? Am I focusing on where I'm now? Or am I focusing on where I want to go? Okay. You really want to focus on where you want to go, and you want to close that gap between where you are and where you want to go. Okay. I hope this video has given you some things to ponder on. I hope this video has inspired you to really do some writing, because writing causes thinking and it provides clarity. When you see something on paper, it's easier to understand the pattern. Okay, so start doing some writing. Bob Proctor always said, get a pad and paper out and write. Okay, and that's something I never used to do, but I do it a lot now. And it's helped me really understand me better. And it's helped me propel myself forward. And I hope you're going to do the same. And I hope you're going to start to propel yourself forward and really tell yourself the story of where you're going. Okay, because that's where the magic starts to happen. I will see you on my next video. Bye for now. Have a fabulous day.